Oh, hey guys, welcome back to the program. Before we get started with the main crap, we have to do a little bit. Okay, of what I call drop mining, okay? So let's take a look at these drops that people have been saying, hey, that has to be a drop. Okay, if enough people say, hey, that has to be a drop, I'm just, yeah, you know, I just go, okay.
Having said that, brace for impact. You're about to be value-tained by the one and only Andrew Tate.
I'm too well. I'm scared by the incompetence of these clowns.
You're about to be value-tained. You're about to be value-tained.
Okay, let's look around what else we got here. Oh.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
Calm down.
I did everything right. I did everything right and they indicted me.
Well, all right, guys. Strap in because
You're about to be value-tained.
I did everything right. I did everything right.
You're about to be value-tained.
oh no.
I did everything right.
Okay, so this is apparently a USPS training video to teach male people, male women, how to deal with dogs. This apparently this is actually a problem.
I grab a dog, and I choke him, and I kick the shit out of him.
This thing takes a real turn. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my god. I don't know how much of this I'm able to show because it gets pretty graphic and violent actually. But here we go. How do these goddamn male people prevent this? Here we go.
This could have been prevented.
Okay.
Never run from a dog.
I grab a dog.
Stand your ground and face the dog.
Face the dog and say,
I did everything right.
Let the dog know that
You're about to be value-tained.
Here at the show, we salute our brave male people.
we look at them and we go,
I love you.
look at what they have to deal with. Dogs going like that. Dogs running up to them and
Sniffing.
them. All right, get ready because
You're about to be value-tained.
by this is what's this guy's name, huh? Max Park. This kid has beaten what? He's beaten the Rubik's Cube world record a couple days ago. Here we go. Watch these kids' reaction. Here we go. Wow.
I did everything right.
I love this kid in the red back here. Doesn't know what to do with himself. Look, he's got a bunch of crap in his hand. Let's watch him again. Okay, guys, enough schmitting. Let's get down to the real crap because
You're about to be value-tained.
okay, this is a pretty fun one. Our girl Pearl, you know, one of the greats, Pearl. Our girl Pearl went on Ethan Klein's podcast. Ooh, wow, big time.
So why should I engage with in a conversation with you at all if women are just emotional? Shouldn't I be talking to a man about this?
Okay.
Probably.
Why do you bother to even have a platform? Shouldn't you just concede to a man?
I like women, not men.
Yeah, probably. You
Right.
know.
So we got to look for a man to replace you.
I think Pearl is missing out on a little branding opportunity because you know how she says something, she's like, women are stupid or whatever. She should call those Pearl Snaps. Pearl Snaps. Oh, it's one of her classic Pearl Snaps. Do people know what Pearl Snaps are? It's like a type of shirt. I should probably explain that.
I grab a dog.
So, you know, you have formal debate, you know, then you have argumentation in a court or whatever. You know, you argue a case, you know. So you have these kind of real kind of debates and argumentation and stuff like that. This is not that, okay? I think Ethan Klein did a good job, but never in a real debate, a formal debate or argumentation in court or something, does somebody just get over it, which is what Pearl does the whole time. It looks like she did little to no preparation for this. You know, one of the biggest YouTube channels, H3H3. Looks like she didn't prepare for this at all. So when she started to get frustrated because Ethan Klein is like, well, this doesn't seem to make sense, she just starts basically I'm not even kidding. Just starts like rolling her eyes and going like, it's like, here we go. She just kind of disassociates, which is like what little kids do when they get in trouble, you know? Here we go.
So I talk to feminists all the time.
Right. I haven't seen you talk to an actual scholar once. You just talk to kind of random women.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that's fair to say.
You okay?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say you talk to feminists,
That is literally like my friends who have kids, you know, and they yell at the kid, you know, the kid gets in trouble, does something stupid, and the parent has to like yell at them. They often go into that mode. I've seen that mode before. But there is a really funny part where she starts talking about Tommy Sowell and his little takes on slavery. Here we go.
this comment I thought was interesting, and tell me what you think about it.
This sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by.
Right.
So they often, but that's what they do is they embellish, and I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was.
Right.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
So in what way was slavery made to seem more horrible than it was?
Okay. Oh boy.
We were talking about.
Oh boy.
And I don't really want to go into this too much because we're kind of past
Little kid mode.
this.
Right.
But I was quoting a Thomas Sowell book.
Right.
But I was quoting a Thomas Sowell book.
Yeah, I just rather. I mean, I was talking about a book that I read, and I think to understand the context, you'd have to read the book.
But you just said some parts were embellished, some parts were embellished.
Right.
I just again.
Are you retracting that?
Okay.
I'd really just rather not.
Okay.
Okay.
I did everything right.
Okay, I think Ethan Klein didn't really know who Tommy Sowell was, so he couldn't really go too deep into this, but let's look at some of the greatest hits of Tommy Sowell. Tommy Sowell. Sowell compared Barack Obama to Adolf Hitler, saying that the similarities were obvious when Obama created a relief fund for the BP oil spill. He claimed that this was symptomatic of socialism. Despite his libertarian leanings, Sowell supported the war in Iraq, along with the notion of preemptive strikes. That seems like a little bit of a contradiction there. Yeah, he's one of these guys where it's like, yeah, he's just either a pure opportunist, like who will give me money for saying things, or he's out of his mind. Those are the only two options with Tommy. And all these online right-wingers love this guy. Global warming. He's also a global warming denier. Oh, he believes it's a manufactured controversy, set up in part by academics who want research grants. Sowell has written a column appearing to support segregation in public schools, saying black kids do better in their own schools. Okay, great, Tommy. You know, and when confronted with these things that he said and wrote, he responded,
I did everything right. I did everything right.
You're about to be value-tained.
Man, oh man. Tommy Sowell, I think he's like 92 years old or something. I don't know if he's even still alive. But they should throw his ass in jail for this because man, oh man, is this a perfect example of how stupid, dumbass propaganda works, which is exactly what Tommy Sowell does. I found the video that she watched that she's talking about here. It's called The Biggest Lie About Slavery. So she says, oh, this guy, you know, he wrote in this book that slavery was embellished. You know, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. You know, those slaveholders, they say,
I did everything right.
It wasn't that bad. You know, that's what she took away from this video. And, you know, this is the thing, why they should throw Tommy Sowell's ass in jail. If you're sort of don't know what you're talking about, even though that's not exactly what Tommy Sowell is saying, it's what you would take away from this.
To make racism the driving force behind slavery is to make a historically recent factor the cause of an institution which originated thousands of years earlier.
Oh, okay.
This enshrinement of racism as an overarching causal factor accords far more with current instrumental agendas than with history. The form in which the story of slavery has reached most people today has
Right.
been along the lines of the best-selling book and widely watched television miniseries Roots
Got it.
by Alex Haley.
Okay.
Challenged on the historical accuracy of Roots, Haley said, "I tried to give my people a myth to live by. This instrumental use of history, or purported history, is open to the same objections as other instrumental myth-making."
Yeah, this guy, Tommy Sowell, nobody takes this guy seriously. He's a total crank. Only online. People who are online too much take this guy seriously. I'll give you an example from the same video. Check this out.
While slavery was common to all civilizations, as well as to peoples considered uncivilized, only one civilization developed a moral revulsion against it very late in its history: Western civilization. Today it seems so obvious that, as Abraham Lincoln said, if slavery is not wrong, nothing is wrong.
Right. So he says only one civilization developed a moral revulsion against slavery, Western civilization. And there he's partly talking about the United States. I don't know if he remembers this. He is an Ivy League educated guy, but there was a civil war in the United States where a bunch of people died trying to defend slavery. I don't know if he remembers that part. Oh, no. They just had a moral revulsion against it. So I don't know if those people had a moral revulsion against it. Because he's trying to say, like, oh, there's just something about the white West that they just hate slavery, except for all those people who were defending it and fought and killed people and died defending it. So with the Just Pearly things thing, that she heard what he wanted her to hear, which is slavery's not that bad, bro. Calm down. Because, of course, he represents people who don't want to pay higher taxes or want the economy to change in any way that poor people will get more money. That's like his whole project. You know, and his whole purpose, that guy, that idiot Thomas Sowell, is to confuse people like Pearl, and so they won't ask questions about why is there a lot of inequality right now, you know? Maybe we should look at history. And Tommy Sowell's like, oh no, don't look at that, it's not a big deal. Okay, there we go, that's Pearl. She says,
I did everything right.
What's that? I hear something. What is that?
A crystal flute.
Whoa!
Crystal flute.
Crystal flute.
Here's what I think. I think there's a lot of people who are aligned with the left who absolutely are groomers and pedos. A crystal flute. And we can see that with the Epstein stuff.
Okay.
Right? And those aren't so much the left as they are prominent global individuals, but the left aligns with the neoliberal, neoconservative corporate hegemony.
Right. So maybe write this down before you start recording. Maybe that's the lesson there. You know, people aligned with the left, they're groomers. And we can see that with the Epstein stuff. But those aren't the left. So what I just said makes no sense and is just a waste of time. So for the remaining time we have in this video, I will play
a crystal flute.
The left aligns with the neoliberal, neoconservative corporate hegemony.
Right.
Lockheed Martin march.
Oh, right. Okay, so you're trying to make what you just said that doesn't make sense, and it made even less sense. Okay, so remember what he just said. He's like, the left, they're the corporate side.
But now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this. I think I'm going to start ordering Starbucks more than I already do.
Ooh.
From the New Republic. Starbucks to take down all pride decorations in disgusting cave to far right. The decision all but guarantees further...
Imagine Tim Pool strolling up to the Starbucks with his beanie. Yeah, I'll have a grande frappuccino, but I don't need a straw. Instead, I'll use...
Yo, this is huge. What? Talk about winning the culture war. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bud Light effect is ripping through the marketplace.
Yeah, you can afford an improv class or an acting class with all that scam money. Like, that is not very convincing, my friend. This is huge, right?
What? Talk about winning the culture war.
What? Talk about winning the culture war. A crystal flute.
Check this out. Check out anti-corporate Tim Pool here. Check this out.
But according to the union, the company has decided that all pride decorations must come down, even in unionized stores, where Starbucks normally argues it can't make sweeping changes without first discussing it with workers.
Ooh.
I don't know what else to say other than I'm going to start ordering a lot more Starbucks periodically. A crystal flute. A crystal flute.
Oh, hell yeah. Tim Pool. Oh, this is what I love about Tim Pool is that he's such an anti-corporate. He's a counterculturist. You know, he's against the corporations and all this crap. What do people hate about corporations? You know, they're authoritarian. They treat their workers just like a nameless numberheads, you know. Oh, corporate says you do this, you do it. You don't ask any questions. You know, they try to pay the people who actually do the work there as little as possible so they could squeeze money to the top. This is what we hate about corporations, you know. And I'm glad Tim Pool understands that, you know. Because here's a giant corporation, Starbucks, telling even the unionized Starbucks, hey, you can't do this. You can't express yourself in the stores because even if this cuts into our profits, even if morons who watch Tim Pool even cut into our profits, you know, a fraction of a percent or whatever, we know this won't be a significant loss if people start, oh, we're not going to go because it's gay. We still don't even want to risk that. So corporate said, so you do it. And Tim Pool loves that. Great. He's doing a great job at being a counterculture, anti-corporate guy. I love it. I do want to figure out how to get this trending on Twitter or something for him to take the beanie off. You know, maybe like hashtag don't be ashamed of your head, Tim Pool, something like that.
Last night, Tucker Carlson described the indictment of Donald Trump as the...
Where did he describe that?
That's on YouTube.
No, it's on Twitter.
You're a moron.
Hey, calm down.
Last night, Tucker Carlson described the indictment of Donald Trump as the total destruction of the American justice system.
Oh.
And I like Tucker Carlson, and he's mostly right. But I don't think he's seeing the big picture.
Whoa.
The destruction of the American justice system has been happening for quite some time, and I would say it's become complete.
Oh, you're a very smart young man.
Some time ago.
Yeah.
The indictment of Donald Trump is just a glaring red flag.
Oh.
But you see, Tucker.
I'm a real newsman, okay?
What we're witnessing now with the indictment of Donald Trump is something far worse than just the destruction of the American justice system.
Oh.
As Tucker does point out, this is the president targeting his political rival.
Whoa.
My friends, we're entering pre-Civil War in the literal sense, or quite possibly even the advancement of Civil War.
Whoa.
Now, I know there's a lot of questions around when we are in a Civil War, what a Civil War will look like.
I did everything right. I did everything right.
You know, I haven't really been following this Trump arrest thing too much. So I read a bunch about it today. And I was like, I've been hearing podcasters talk about it and stuff. But these other ding-dongs, you know, Mike Pence, Joe Biden, these guys, they had some kind of documents too, and then whatever, you know, and then they were like, hey, give us these documents back, and they gave them back, and that was it. No arrest, no problem. So why is Trump like hoarding these documents? You know, some of them are classified or whatever. Why is he hoarding them? And what it looks like they're saying, I thought it was like, you know, your first thought is like, oh, he's going to try to sell them, or he's going to try to use them as some kind of leverage to get money from some foreign government or something. But I read some little analysis of this legal crap, and what it seems like they're saying is he just wanted to like show people these documents, like show some weird like sunburned guy at Mar-a-Lago or whatever that crap is, to show that he had classified documents to like prove he's cool or something. I don't know. And the other kind of interesting speculation is that he just wants to feel like he's still the president. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's some real little kid logic right there.
Tim Pool doesn't really talk about that too much, but he does. He is like, this is Civil War. It's Civil War time. It's Civil War time because some guy wouldn't return documents to the FBI or whatever because he wanted to show some guy who had like glasses on the back, like Guy Fieri style glasses on the back of his head, you know, some like nuclear documents or something. He doesn't mention that, but it's Civil War. And then Tim Pool says something kind of struck the ear kind of weird about the Civil War. Here we go.
Very famously, John Brown and his family were engaged in conflict there in terroristic and murderous activities. Though many people do look at John Brown as a hero of some sort, I find it interesting that he just went around basically killing people and engaging in terroristic acts.
Good Lord.
Granted, there's questions about when we cross the...
You know, I'm just asking questions here. Would it be a terroristic act to jump kick a bunch of mall ninja crap off of an ashamed Beanie Boys wall? Is that terrorism? I'm just asking questions. I wouldn't do that. You gotta love that. Oh, this guy, John Brown, some people think he's a hero, but he was doing terroristic acts. Right, against slaveholders. Against slaveholders. That guy was a terrorist. Who was he doing terrorism against, Dimple? Slaveholders. What was that? I said slaveholders, okay.
What? Talk about winning the culture war.
Yeah, but that's really funny. Tim Pool's like, this is gonna be the Civil War. This is how the Civil War starts because they're doing an injustice. And it's like, my man could have avoided getting arrested by just returning this crap, but he didn't want to return it because he wanted to show, some guy from Newsmax that he still had these documents. All right, here we go. Just when you thought things couldn't get any more
Weird.
Ooh, they get way weirder. Here we go.
And I'll clarify the statement about AOC being a far left extremist.
Who?
She is, okay? And I'll explain to you why.
A crystal flute.
So we had Stephen Marsh on this show. He wrote a book called, I think it was like The Next Civil War. I forgot the name of the book.
Right.
We have it in here.
Some weirdo, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And he said that the United States is a brilliant point. I disagree with him on a lot of things. But he said the United States currently has a multicultural democracy and a constitutional republic within it, and they're both, basically fighting. And you can't have both. And he's completely right. The thing is, this country was founded as a constitutional republic, not a multicultural democracy. And it is the multicultural democracy that is trying to supplant and take over and is extreme by the standards of
Calm down. What the hell?
Of a constitutional republic, for which I agree with. Okay. So you understand that? If someone owns a house and then someone else comes into that house and says, I live here now, okay, that person is the trespasser, the aggressor, the criminal, right? The usurper. It is not the person who owned the house who's the extremist. They've been doing what they've always done. They are the standard. So when you
Are you out of your mind? Man. Good Lord.
Have, say, a traditional liberal, disaffected liberals, classical liberals, conservatives, libertarians, sitting down and discussing the nature of this country, and mostly in agreement, but in disagreement on many core issues, well, you have a wide range of views that represent the constitutional republic of this country. When you then have far left extremists, people who hold
far left extremists who want there to be a democracy. So there we go. This is this guy's show now. Anti-gay, anti-democracy, anti-multiculturalism. That's his show. Real positive show, moron. Take that beanie off. What if someone, I'm not saying anybody should do this, but what if someone, after kicking all that stuff off the wall, and I reiterate, don't do this. This is a thought exercise. What if someone were to then kick that beanie off his head? I'm saying if someone said that to him, that would be not nice. And I want to be very clear that don't do that. This is a guy, Tim Pool does the Tucker Carlson thing where he's always talking about the elites. Like, he does that all the time. But when these guys say, I hear this on right-wing media all the time, we're not a democracy, we're a constitutional republic. What they mean when they say that is elites should have all the power. So I'm sick of these elites. Also, I believe that all the elites should basically run everything because a democracy is actually bad. And it also shouldn't be multicultural. I think what he has under that beanie is just pudding or something. Like, not a brain, there's just pudding. Maybe that's why he needs to contain all that pudding. If you lift it up, the pudding will just kind of melt out over his stupid face. Here's another funny part from this absolute moron. Here we go.
So what's currently happening in the United States? A new ideological faction with a fascistic moral framework. That believe, and I'll elaborate. The fascistic moral framework of the left is, quote, there is no truth but power, end quote.
Okay, what are you quoting there?
As a fascistic moral worldview.
Okay, so no reference. It's just just putting quotes around that thing. Good job, man. Good job. We're all really proud of you. Grandma's really proud of you. You want to talk to her? You're skateboarding? Okay, bye-bye. Okay, here we go. This next part. Listen to this next part. This really is just a little kid talking to himself into a tape recorder. I mean, listen to this.
True, but that's just manipulation. That's not correct. There are objective truths in this world. There is objective reality.
Okay.
They're trying to change this.
Whoa.
They're trying to supplant it. They have no moral framework other than they believe power dictates. So they're trying to take over. That's why they lie. So the reason why, a guy who likes another guy won't say he's gay is because he's trying to manipulate and trick regular people.
Well, that took an unexpected turn. Huh? there is an objective truth, you know, and they, who's they? I don't know, they are trying to change this. So that's, well, when a gay guy tells somebody he's not, that's proof of that they're trying to trick people. What? This guy should be getting a timeout, I feel like. Like, that's what he's just, his whole show is just calling out for a timeout. Man, I really come close to almost admiring what this guy does. Of course, what I really think is that this is literally maybe the stupidest person who's ever lived. But I come pretty close to admiring it because just letting the camera roll like this and just, you know, I'll just say whatever pops into my beanie. I know it doesn't really have to make any sense because my audience is they're not the brightest. That's a level of boldness that I almost admire in deeply dumb people like Tim Pool.
Well, guys, there we go.
How do I feel about this episode? Well, I think that
I did everything right. I did everything right.
This was
a crystal flute
of an episode, and I hope you liked it. Love you guys so much. Oh my God. Oh Lord, the week is almost over. Thank God. Thank God. I really need a break. I really need a break. I'm losing it. Well, guys, you are the supporters of the show, and for that, I am eternally grateful. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.